Why the name mushroom? Hi everybody. Yeah, I know I look like an old-fashioned singer.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars.
But here we are back again with a video in which I will try to explain to you the meaning and the etymology of a word. In this episode, we'll deal with the word mushroom. I took quite a long time since last video to research on this word and make a very good video. The etymology of the word mushroom is a bit uncertain. Indeed, there were many similar words used around 14 and 1600s. One of them is the Anglo-Saxon mushroom, so it's highly likely that mushroom originated from one of these words. All these words have in common the fact that they come from the late Latin word mussirio, which was used to refer to mushroom. Mushroom. Another slightly different hypothesis could be that the word mushroom originated from French mousseron, which is instead a term related to moss. Yeah, I know it's not much, it's not really interesting or funny, but often etymology of words are just deviations from old languages. But then you might ask,
then why did you take so long to research into this word?
To which I answer, it was a joke. I didn't really spend all this time to research into the word mushroom. It took me like a few seconds searching on Google. You might want to search it as well. I don't know why you should be watching this video. But I have something more to offer. Indeed, you might have heard the word fungus. And yes, it is used as a medical condition. Okay, we might want to get rid of this image. Yeah, thank you. But actually, fungus is a more appropriate and general term to refer to mushrooms, in a sense. Because it's true that all mushrooms are fungi, but not all fungi are mushrooms. What do I mean? The word fungus refers to the entire fungal organism. Like you say plant to refer to the whole tree, while mushroom is just the visible part of the fungus. Indeed, it's something like a fruit or a flower that stems from a plant. It's something similar to that. Yeah, there are many other complications, many specifications, of course, but I assume that if you are still here watching this video, you might want to know the etymology of the word. Well, the etymology of the term fungus is pretty straightforward. It comes directly from Latin, in which the term for mushroom was exactly fungus. Even the plural, fungi, is the same in English. And interestingly enough, the word for mushroom in Italian is fungo as well, which of course comes again directly from Latin. Another term you might have heard of is champignon. And yes, it is a variety of mushrooms in English and even in Italian. But interestingly enough, again, it is the general word to refer to mushrooms in French. It always comes from the Latin word campagnolus or fungus campagnolus, and so it refers to meadow and field mushrooms, even though we might want to notice that meadow mushrooms and champignon are not exactly the same variety of mushrooms in English. Indeed, even in Italian there is this difference between champignon and fungo prataiolo, which is instead the one that grows spontaneously in fields or in meadows. Moreover, you also have the Spanish language, in which you can find a similar term for mushroom, which is champignon, I believe. I don't know if I pronounced it well. Hopefully I did. I don't know much about Spanish, but I'm here talking about it anyway, because who cares? But I believe, or at least that's what I found in the dictionary, that the general term and the most common term for mushroom in Spanish is seta, which, interestingly enough, in Italian is the word we use for silk, which in Spanish again is instead seda, which differs from mushroom just for one letter. So you see how different languages intertwine in weird ways, and that's why I took so long to make this video about mushroom etymology. No, of course I'm kidding. Finally, even if we don't care, the German term for mushroom is pills. Of course I'm joking. I apologize to all German people that are watching this. It was just a joke. Please forgive me. We care a lot about Germany and the German language. Sorry. Actually, I have something more to add for what concerns German. Indeed, there is a word in German, Krutenschwamm. I hope I said it correctly. It's pretty much the same word as Toadstool. Indeed, there is another word to refer to mushrooms which we haven't dealt with so far, that specifically refers to poisonous mushrooms, and it is Toadstool. The German word is exactly the same and means Toad fungus, or anyway always toadstool. But that's pretty peculiar. Why would a mushroom be called a toadstool? Well, again, there is no certainty about the origin of the word. But especially in German folklore, and in old fairy tales, we often find toads sitting on mushrooms, or mushrooms used as stools by gnomes or other fairy creatures. But still, there is no specific and certain etymology of the word, because it's just what it looks like. It is a stool for toads. So I can give you my interpretation, which is that maybe in ancient times, all toads or most of toads were regarded as poisonous animals. Some of them are, of course. And they were believed to sit and rest on mushrooms, so that the stools of the toad themselves became poisonous, and that's why maybe poisonous mushrooms are associated with a toadstool. I don't know, I like to think of it this way. It's nice. Concerning the idioms that use the word mushroom, there is at least one, which is spring up like mushrooms, which means to increase rapidly and suddenly in number, like mushrooms do after the rain, for example. And The word mushroom is even used as a verb. To mushroom into something means to become and grow rapidly and suddenly into something very important. We end this video with some honorable mentions that come directly from our beloved video game world. Indeed, we find mushrooms as they are in a lot of games, but they can be both enemies and companions, let's say. For example, we find them as enemies in Dark Souls or Kingdom Hearts, but of course we can find helpful mushrooms all over the place in the Super Mario Saga, with a special mention to Toad and Toadette. And finally, of course, we have a lot of mushroom-related monsters in the Pokemon franchise, like Paras and Parasect, Gloom and Vileplume, or the more recent Fungus and Amoonguss. And then there's also Shymotic. Yeah, I do remember that Pokemon, but I don't really like it. It creeps me out. Oh